Hello Virgo, and welcome to Sincere Tarot. This is your February 2021 What Do You Need to Know Tarot reading, and your energy is the Princess of Swords. So keep an open mind, stay curious, be inquisitive like a detective, ask lots of questions. But this can also be the first phase of something that has to do with writing, speaking, the law, objective truth, things like that. Potentially defense as well. Let's see. What does February have in store for you? What does Virgo need to know, please, and thanking you? All right. All right, I see where this open mind is coming from. Oh, geez. Okay, so this has something to do with something in the past that has to do with this Nine of Wands energy. So a tricky energy, something difficult to navigate, and you're much better at doing it than you realize. You're actually much better at avoiding conflict and difficulty than you're aware of. I think so. But there's something that you've been kind of expecting for a while, something that you know is coming up, and you're going to have to deal with it, okay? And you've been kind of preparing yourself, so that's good. Your energy of February is the Four of Swords. So this is what you're coming up as. And the Four of Swords, healing, taking that rest, making sure you have peace of mind, being so careful with your energy. I feel like because you're in the middle of a healing process right now, you're extra sensitive. So you need to be extraordinarily careful with the information that you consume. Doesn't matter whether it's true or not. It matters whether it's positive and healing or negative and fear-based, okay? So you need to also be very careful with the people who you have around you, and they need to be people that you can just have a light, playful energy with, people you can totally trust. And also you might want to just kind of stay at home and just rest a little bit more. It's okay to sleep in. It's okay to take a break from working out or from your job or whatever it is. You're allowed to put everything and anything on hold. The thing is, what you need to know about is that there's something about that you're finding, like there's something. I'm going to do some clarification cards and definitely stick around for the advice cards at the end, but there's something that's very confusing to you. There's something that you're looking at, and maybe if you don't think there's something confusing, there's something that you're looking at completely falsely, all right? Because I feel like, so this is you. This is what you need to know, and this is the energy in between. So the energy in between is the Queen of Swords. I feel like because of your healing, you are able to look at a particular aspect of yourself, or a different person, by the way, or a particular situation, okay? I'm going to speak as if this is you. Could be someone else. Actually, I feel like for most of you, this is someone else, but for some of you, this could be a different aspect of you or a situation or organization, okay? Anyways, so this other person is so delusional, and they're so detached from reality. This can also represent addiction, because obviously like addictive behaviors really detach us from what's real, and just like confusion, things like that. And you're able to just look at this person completely clearly. You don't even and I think that you're seeing them in a new way, because your energy is the Princess of Swords, which is much more kind of open-minded and inquisitive. It's almost like you've been able to emotionally detach from this person so that you can observe them and almost like study them and just take in information. And this might have been someone that you have had trouble with in the past, hence the Nine of Wands energy in the past. So the outcome is the Chariot. So I think both of you, I'm going to clarify this just to be certain, but I think both of you are going to end up like moving forward with something in particular, or be moving forward in life together. You are going to have, this is what's clarifying you, the High Priestess. I really feel like the healing that you've been doing, and especially calming the mind, has allowed you to really increase your intuition, your inner knowing, hearing that inner voice. And just it's almost like you've tapped into this like wealth of cavernous knowledge, and that's because you've been healing, and it's allowing your mind to be able to just like clearly, calmly, in a detached, objective observer way, look at this other person and realize like, oh my gosh, they've lost the plot. Okay, this might be someone that you are kind of stuck with in a way, because they're being aspected by the Three of Pentacles. So this could be someone that you work with, someone that you manage finances with, someone that you live with, like a roommate. It could be someone that you've got some sort of contract with, like a marriage contract or a partnership with, or you live yeah, I already said that. Anyways, so the point is you do have to work with this person. I think they are going to be more workable. And you might have conveyed information, you might not have. It might be more just your presence that has hopefully maybe gotten their head out of the sand, right? Okay, let's get some clarification cards for more information and advice right after. All right. What does Virgo need to know about this person, situation, or organization for February? Interesting. Okay. See, I wasn't too sure about, working together, because the outcome, the Chariot, is often very ego based, which is important for a lot of things, you know. A lot of people will accomplish amazing things because, you know, they want recognition, they want praise, they want to tick things off of a box. So there are so many benefits towards ego, but then we're not like connecting in a more deeper level. But it's still a good quality, but I'm not seeing it as a good quality with the connection with this person. And I'll tell you why. Because this outcome is clarified by the Ten of Swords. I feel like there's just going to be, you're not going to be able to work with them. And like you two are not going to be able to work together. But I feel like it'll ultimately come down to you, because you're just like, this is BS. I'm not willing to go through this stress. Too much drama. Too much negative communication. Like both of you might, to a certain degree, like bulldoze each other's ideas and thoughts and maybe emotions. And you're just not it's like both of you need to have it your way. And you know what? Looking at this reading, you're the one who's more mature. You're the one who knows more. You are the one who's more level-headed, okay? And I feel like you're just, and so it is ultimately you that's almost like giving more momentum to this ending, but it's just because you don't want to deal with it, and I don't blame you. Okay, so the past is being clarified by the Ace of Pentacles. So this may have had something to do with a contract, or a new contract with work, or where you live, or living together, or a marriage contract, or a business contract, or something like that. Something where there was, or maybe birth, it could be that you're related, because obviously physically related. So something, but it's just too stressful. It's just too stressful. It did have that potential. Didn't really go the way I don't think either of you planned. You are being aspected by adjustment, also known as the Justice card, also big Queen of Wands kind of energy, but even more powerful. So you doing your healing, calming your mind, putting your mental well-being first and foremost, at least for now, has allowed you to really step back and just take an objective look at this other person, and you're able to see them clearly. Now, look, I think, they're just, this person is not, I think that they think they're in touch with their intuition, but they're not. They think that they are being guided intuitively, but they're not. It's almost like, how some people will be like, oh, I'm going through a spiritual journey and take lots of drugs. And it's like, really? You need drugs for enlightenment? You know what I mean? So it could be, for example, something like that, but there are more examples than that, okay? Anyways, the energy is being clarified by the universe, which in other decks is the world. Again, a completion. Your attitude towards this person, the way that you observe this person will never be the same. You see the full picture and you're just like, done. You're looking at this very clearly. So I do see that there could be a bit of a conflict at the end, to be honest, because this is someone almost like bulldozing, and that's both of your energy combined. It's going to be like the last straw, the nail in the coffin. It will be the end of the stress, but it is going to be stressful, this kind of final situation that's coming up. They're being clarified by the Three of Pentacles and the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands, this final nail in the coffin might be like you guys are talking about work or another person, or I'm just gonna sneeze for a second, but this is interesting. Oh, excuse me. Anyways, and the Knight of Wands energy is someone who, you know, says and does things with no filter. So it could be true, right? And a lot of times people, when they have no filter, they're like, oh, well, I'm just telling the truth. Yeah, but that doesn't mean you have to say like lots of mean things, but this person literally is they just say and do things without thinking about how it's going to affect other people around them. They can be a little bit, not superficial, like selfish in a way, but they're like, oh, well, it's the truth. So, you know, anyways, you are not going to put up with it because you're coming up as a much more powerful energy. The High Priestess, like, you know, at a deep level, not cool, okay? And you're actually coming up as the King of Wands, which is, you know, hierarchically, you know, higher than the Knight. So I feel like this Knight is almost like a kid, but you're like a full-grown adult. And I feel like, yeah, ultimately, it's not about winning, but you're gonna win in a way, or at least you have more deeper power on your side, and I think you're going to be the one to be like, end it. I'm ending this. This is done. Finished. Okay, let's get some advice cards. So please, let's get some advice cards for Virgo for February 2021 about the situation. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, the first advice card. Again, we have the Seven of Cups. So some of you, look, this could be about you or the other person. If it's about you, and you are struggling with mental health, any type of addictive behavior, please go to your doctor. Please get a counselor or a therapist. Google search your local area's, you know, services. Please make sure that you get the help that you need, okay? And if this is another person, like you cannot. Someone also might be gaslighting you. This person could be gaslighting you and trying to make you really confused as well. But anyways, but if this is another person or situation, it's very like smoke and mirrors, confusing, deceit, but like with truth sprinkled in. So it's all like what's real. The other person, if it's a person, it could be that they are dealing with, you know, addiction issues, alcoholism, mental health, and like when someone's in that state, like you cannot communicate to them in the way that you want to. It's like there's such a vibrational gap that it's like you say this and it just completely like goes over their head. Or yeah, anyways, the second advice card is the Hanged Woman. So this is more about energy, and this actually makes sense because Four of Swords, staying home, getting more like mentally balanced. Queen of Swords energy is someone who kind of just like patiently observes. She doesn't go out and do anything. She just sits, she watches, she waits, right? And then the High Priestess, just tapping into that inner knowing. You know, you don't need to go out and get any more information. You just need to kind of open up and receive it, right? It's a receiving. And I think that this might be a little bit frustrating for you because your advice card is the Hanged Woman, and it's literally there are no specific actions that you can do at this present moment in time. You aren't in an unfair, uncomfortable situation, but being in this uncomfortable situation is allowing you to look at things from a different perspective. You're gaining more wisdom, a lot more wisdom. I'm hearing a buzzing now. That's very, very true. And this new perspective is what's really important. And it's going to help allow you to see things clearly, very clearly, okay? The third advice card is the Knight of Wands. And because this other person or situation is coming up being aspected by the Knight of Wands, it's like, okay, actually I'm gonna say it for you. So try not to do what this other person does, right? This other person is just gonna, like, no filter, say whatever is on their mind, and it's gonna be hurtful. Do not sink to that level. You are better than that. You can still come back in a powerful way with truth without sinking to their level, okay? So just take that moment If you ever feel like you're about to say something or do something that you regret, just take a moment, take a breath, and respond rather than react, okay? Meditation can help with that too, as with other things. Awareness practice, mindfulness, okay? Google those things if you want to improve. Everyone should improve at that, probably. The final advice card is the Ace of Wands. So you might have an inspired new idea, a new perspective. You might really, well, I see you are much more tapped into your intuition and creativity, spiritual knowing. You might, if there are any creative projects you are doing or thinking of doing, you might want to I think you would have a lot of good ideas, but ultimately really listen to your intuition when it comes to this situation, what feels right. It may not make sense. It may not, it's like a knowing that you feel in your body, in your soul. Go with that. It's the voice that whispers, not the voice that yells. If you'd like a private reading, send me an email or check out my website. That is down below. You can also follow me on social media. Thanks to everyone who's liked, shared, subscribed, hit the notification bell, and commented below. I love reading your comments and I appreciate them so much. I do monthly and mid-monthly videos, and if you're still here, secret bonus card. The Queen of Wands. Wow, you have all of the court cards in the fire, like seriously. So yeah, just be yourself, be true to yourself, be authentic, stand your ground. You don't have to go out and prove anything to anyone. Be you. You got this. Have a great month. Bye.